Alright, welcome to Wraith's very first devlog showcase thing. Let's do it. Wraith is a game I've been working on for the past 5 or so months. It's an FPS roguelike where you try to fight out of this big corporate building who's entrapped you and wronged you. Alright, now some of you may be asking who I am, which is a very fair point. This is literally my first time making it, or second time-ish, making an appearance online. So my name's Connor. I'm an indie game developer. I made Koozie, which is a game you've probably never heard of, a small game posted on itch that's been buried amongst all the other itch games. I also made Lars, which was supposed to be this big RPG zombie survival game where you and your dog have to stick it out and get to safety together. It ended up not working out because it was an idea I had going for 3 years, and after 3 years of thinking about the same idea, you just kind of get sick of it. So yeah, that's when we moved on to Wraith. The very early versions of the game looked blocky. I was just blocking stuff out, trying to get basic levels going, trying to get a game feel. The earlier versions of the game just had you W, S, and D to move around and a spacebar to jump, normal stuff, and it created a really CSGO type of feeling where you just had to peek corners and hit enemies before they hit you, but it was this really tedious, not a lot of people understood it, and almost everyone got frustrated by it. So that's when I decided I needed a bit of a revamp, and the first big change was trying to add movement. The only thing that really stuck was a slide. I don't know why that's the only one that I felt fit the game. It is. I guess maybe it's because I played a lot of Apex and I'm very used to that, just spamming shit. And my second idea was to give the player these random abilities and weapons and stuff to create different loadouts every time they ran the game. My idea was that each loadout should drastically change your play style, so it really never feels like you're playing the same game, because each time you're given new loadouts, you're given new abilities, which will force you to approach each fight in a new way. So we got everything from sniper rifles to submachine guns and being able to see enemies through walls to slowing down time. Alright, so the next thing I worked on was all the enemies. First enemies I made were these projectile enemies who shoot very slow moving but high damaging projectiles that the best way to avoid is just to constantly strafe around them and stuff. You can use them to your advantage though, as kind of a rocket boosting type of thing. The next enemies are the hit scan enemies. Those guys will hit you almost instantly. The best way to deal with these guys is to shoot them before they shoot you and try to isolate them and sneak up on them. We got riot shield enemies. They'll just constantly move up to you, so they won't let you hunker down in one area. If they do get to you, then they'll hit you with their shield, dealing half of your health. The best way to deal with these guys is just ignore them until they get close to you and then reposition. And then finally we got healer enemies. Healer enemies will heal other downed enemies. They're not the hardest to kill, but they should be prioritized, because if you don't, then you'll find yourself just killing the same people over and over and over again and not actually ever making progress. Yeah, so the next thing to do is to add the leveling up system. So originally it was going to be more of a roguelite, and so the player was going to be able to pick their upgrades after they died, and those upgrades would carry through to the next run and the run after that and the run after that. But instead, after every level cleared, you're going to get the choice between 3 different upgrades, so everything from just simple damage bonuses or meg bonuses to a dash ability, or stuff like being able to turn your side armor into a fully automatic weapon. Yeah, the game was heavily inspired by Severed Steel and Doom. Doom was from watching GMTK's Doom breakdowns. They have, I think, 2 or 3 of them, and they're really well done. And Severed Steel was because it was a game I played, and I loved the soundtrack, and I loved the graphics. So I kind of tried to recreate the graphics myself, and I'm working on a soundtrack. I learned how to use FL Studio. I'm just actually trying to get good at it. And yeah, and coincidentally, the story is actually really similar. I hope that Severed Steel doesn't really mind. Their story, they didn't really focus on it too much, so I hope that they don't feel like I'm copying them and stuff. But with that, yeah, that's Wraith. So for anyone who's interested in playing the game, it's not released yet, but there is a Steam page for you to be able to wishlist it, and I plan to release a demo within the next month or so. Alright, this is 3 days later, right before I posted the YouTube video, and I actually, what you saw was my second time trying to record the video. And there was some really good bloopers from the first time. Oh, yeah, okay, camera's finally working. Oh my god, that took a lot longer than it should have. Oh my god, I lost the camera and then tried to connect it, and then it wasn't working through the USB splitter, and then it wasn't working through a USB to USB. Oh, okay, but it's working now. I can see myself. Yeah, okay, let's go. I'm definitely super excited to find out my mic was off. That's cool. I was I can't give up on Lars. I can't, but we had a residency with an artist who was a really awesome person. She's an author. She wrote God isn't here today and something else. I can't. I'm sorry. I'm gonna send her this video after too, which is like she's gonna be mad that I hope she's not mad I didn't remember her second book. Hopefully not. We're fine. It's fine. We'll be fine.